Right guys, back in workshop. I've just had a fresh trim. Spring bend is ready because we're going to a christening tomorrow, so I'll have this weekend off. Thought I'd better get myself sorted out, but I went and messed up getting myself all nice and trimmed up for a christening. Have a look at my nose, zoom in on that. For some reason that just stopped on me. Might click the button, might not. Yeah, I'll be going looking like bloody Rudolph tomorrow to this flipping christening, but never mind. It's war wound, isn't it? War wound. It's drawn blood as this Royal Enfield. I've got flipping bust up knuckle where I caught it on grinder. Took it down to the bone. That's been flipping annoying all week. And then now, yeah, burnt nose. Burnt nose. So yeah, all best jobs. Just best jobs always draw blood because you're flipping on it, aren't you? On it like mad. So anyway, I'll show you these megaphones. They're looking good. I redeemed myself. It was about 9:30 I went home last night, and it were a long bloody day. That's why I was stood around burning my nose and stuff because I was tired, I think. But yeah, the back, I'm still a couple of hours behind, I think. Lost a couple of hours on and messing about with this braze shit, but they're presentable. They're presentable. They're looking all right. I mean, the badges look mint and that. And now all I need to do is purge them. Do that flipping nasty job of purging. That's another reason why I don't like stainless. It's all that faff with purging. It's just the faff of it being, it's rock hard to cut with tin snips. When you're cutting it with tin snips, it creaks like mad. It's like, trying to get through it. Does not like it at all. Rock hard. And then, yeah, welding it's just a faff, man. If it was mild steel, you just weld it, man. Just weld it, braze it, do whatever you want to it. No flipping problemos at all. Like I did with that silencer yesterday, the other day. Let's turn around. Like, that silencer. That there. Just went together like I just glued it together. Flipping lovely, no problemos at all. You know what as well, I did a bit of TIG brazing on backside of them collars. They've got two collars on inside there, like the collars on inside, and I TIG brazed them to that plate, and I didn't have no problems with that neither. But yeah, TIG brazing stainless, that's a different thing. So yeah, these are stainless. I need to weld round that now. Just get, because I've got to purge it and everything else, I need to make sure the gaps are tight. So just work right. I've tacked them on a couple of times, and then I'm just going to work round and make sure that the gaps are nice and small. Same with top ends. There's a bit of bigger gaps up here. That's just where it's moved when I've tacked it. So I need to just try and close that gap up, which we do with a bar and an hammer. Just close that gap up, and then I can stick another tack on it so it don't move when I'm welding it. Same on there. It's got another big gap on that one. They're not massive. It's tiny. It's like less than a mil, but big enough for a load of gas to escape. So yeah, that's how they're looking. Put names on side there. Let's get names on first. Yeah, they're looking sweet. They're going to look good on show, aren't they? When they're all buffed up. I probably won't buff them up, you know. I'll probably dull polish them, but it depends on what customer does with bike. He's going to make it look like a Bordeaux racer. So they might want to be just dulled up and make them look original handmade kind of thing. This don't end, I don't know if you can see don't end, but what I decided to do with that braze on the baffle is I just decided to blend it in, and I realised there were a recess where I'd pressed the middle of that metal plate down. And I thought if I just grind it all back, then that'll leave a nice smooth line. So that's beautiful. You can't really see them, but there's 1, 2, 3, 4 tacks on inside. It's hard to tell because of light, but yeah, just put 4 tacks all at 90 degrees with that silicon bronze flipping TIG braze welding. It's not brazing, it's bronze welding. It's definitely bronze welding. Don't run like braze at all. It's just a nightmare. They're all right. They look all right. You can barely see them on inside of there because it's all dark, so you get away with it. The other problem is with them is it's the same as when you're brazing with mild steel. Is the heat caused? It makes the metal soft because of the heat. And then you put the braze on it, it puts a little bump on outside, so there's a bump there, there's a bump there, there's a bump there, there's a bump there, and I've tried buffing them off with grinder as best I can. And that's probably why I dull polish them as well. They won't stand out when you dull polish them. And then next problem was as well, when you braze that, you braze them in 4 corners, it actually makes the end go square. See if I can get that to stand up on its own. So what it's done is when you braze it, it pulls it tight there, and then it pulls it tight there, pulls it tight there, pulls it tight there, and when you pull that round tight, it obviously makes it sharp corner, sharp corner, sharp corner, sharp corner. So it's more of a square So then I've put my big bar inside it, I've tapped it out to make it back round, and that's actually put a flipping line in where them bumps are on outside. So now there's near enough a flipping line all the way around, which might make it look better, it might make it look worse. I can't see it making it look any worse. Same again, what I have to do is just take tops off it a bit with my grinder, with a 120 pad, and then proper blend it in on polisher. And I was talking to a guy that's really good at making stainless systems, really good at making exhaust pipes. He's Ryan Edwards, Reef Exhaust in Bicester. So in Bicester there's a big heritage centre. I might as well slip me back around the top. In Bicester there's a big heritage centre. It's on an old army air base, and they pretty much do everything for old vintage cars. They do upholstery, they do wiring, they do body work, just full restorations. And there's a lad down there called Ryan Edwards. He set up an exhaust place on the army barracks, and he works on Bugattis and Lagondas and just Bentley blowers, all sorts of mad cars, big vintage cars. And he's a shit hot at making exhaust pipes. And I was talking to him about them, and I was like, he said he's been watching these YouTube videos, and I said, I was like slightly embarrassed that, like there's a pro watching me videos, and you get that imposter syndrome, like, am I just chatting absolute pure shite? But he was like, nah, crack on. I explained to him, I'm different from everyone else because I've been taught differently. I've been taught, it's a bit like classical music, innit? I'm classically trained, if you get me. Not into none of this new stuff. So yeah, I'm not a sheet metal welder. I'm not there's a lot of good exhaust people out there, and what they are, they're basically sheet metal welders, and they can just TIG weld for fun. Know how to do stainless. Like right back over here, there's a pharmaceutical engineering place. They're all out around there, like absolute shit hot metal workers. But they can't make vintage exhaust, can they? The vintage exhaust is it's like somewhere in between blacksmithing. It's basically somewhere in between blacksmithing. It's using a lot of hammers and hand tools, aren't you, to make everything. And then you get that nice hand finish, which is like 90% perfect, where you get these guys that make titanium systems 100% perfect, aren't they? And then that looks too good on that grump over there with battered tank. It's classical, innit? That's classical music right there. That don't want a brand new. If I see them, people put stainless exhaust pipes on them, and you just think, oh, it's just not right for the look. This Interceptor, somewhere in between, and people ask me to make exhaust pipes and stuff like that. I'm like, I can't do modern day exhaust pipes. It's just not my style. I can make an exhaust pipe for it. That's what I'm doing now. But modern, it's like modern music. It's just not my style. Not my style at all. But then when this lad sent me a picture, he said, I want sand-bent pipes, I'm going to do it like a 70s endurance racer, a Bordeaux. And I'm like, that's me, mate. That is me. I can do that. I'll make that. What I'm good at doing is vintage race pipes, I think. Vintage race pipes it's all about that handmade look. It's like scruffy welds. I'm not saying I'm a scruffy welder, because I try my best to do a neat weld, but it's just different machine welds. So that's the best comparison. Like a modern day exhaust pipe's got machine welds on. Shite. Absolute shite. Just like perfect lines on them. Just no soul. It needs soul, doesn't it? A bit of character, bit of handmade love, really. And yeah, little bits like that where I've pointing out them bumps, stuff that gives it character. So that's where we're at. We're making an handmade 70s style race system. Yeah, and Ryan Edwards bigged me up, but basically said, don't change what you're doing. Don't change what you're doing, because I'm one of the only ones doing it, aren't I? It's like dry stone walling and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, dry stone walling compared to brick houses. How much nicer. Like this building here, it's just got soul, it's got character, because it was made in the 1850s. Probably had a wooden scaffolding round it when they built it. Just some guys come down, started splitting rocks and building a wall, didn't they? No prefab flipping concrete blocks or anything like that. There's a bit of red brick in here, but even red bricks are nice, aren't they? But yeah, concrete blocks, shite. So anyway, I'll stop waffling. What I'm going to do, I'm going to get these TIG welded up, and then I can stop burning my nose, stuff like that. And then that's how far. I'm probably half a day. I say 2 hours, probably half a day behind. Next job then oh, flipping hell, I've let go on my eBay orders this week, so I've printed out a load of invoices this morning. I've got about 12 of them to pack up, so I'm going to TIG weld that while it's still on my mind. Then I'm going to take a break. I'm going to pack up 12 flipping eBay orders. Then I might ring back a few missed calls. And then, because I've not done no missed calls as well, they're all been missed calls. I've not done no phone calls this week because Ed's been in game on it. And then we'll start packing them pipes with sand. And that'll be Monday's job, won't it? 'Cause I'm off all weekend, going to christening with a burnt nose. So, yeah, peace out, guys. I'll speak to you soon. Right, guys, update. I've got some exciting news to tell you. I've welded one of these. It looks absolutely spiffing. Look at that. Don't know if you can see that. Just see my red nose, can't you? It's well red, that. Yeah, nice. I've just done a bit of purging. The purging worked absolutely beautiful on this one, which is rare for me, to be honest with you. So I did something right this time round. That's welded like a beast. And then I run out of gas. Basically, I'll show you, because you experts are going to like this. Basically, normally, I use one of them, a little hobby bottle, and I just have that through this red cable, with this red hose, into there. I always jig up something bodgy. That's just some bits of tube stuck in the end, and then it's on bar to stop it coming out the other end. But yeah, like I say, that just run out. I started welding it. I thought that's welding a bit snotty. That you can see dirt coming up through it. And I thought I don't think there's any gas coming through. Basically, I'd run the bottle out on that last one. So what I've just done now, I just jigged up another bodgy. It's not that bodgy. I just nicked that off my oxy bottle. This little T piece, Y piece. That one's going to my TIG welder. This one, not even put a Jubilee clip on. Who cares about that? Down here, in. Yeah, like that. So hopefully that'll work. What I do now normally, this is from past experience, is get a fag out, roll it, light it, smoke it. That's normally enough time for that to be purged. Who knows? It gives me about 5 minutes, doesn't it? Just let that just seep in there, so I'm not wasting too much. I did it before where I just waited a short amount of time and there weren't enough in it. That's from past experiences. So now I just smoke a cigarette and then that's a perfect amount of time. Still haven't sussed out this auto-focusing. It needs to be put on the right setting. At the moment it's doing it alright. It's slipping, zooming in on that big red nose of mine. But yeah, when I switch it round from face to something else in the background, it just don't like it. So yeah, I'm going to smoke a fag now, wait for that to fill up, see how I go, because this is the first time I've ever used a T-piece. Next job I think will be buy another T-piece at least. I could maybe buy a double regulator, I think, a double float reg thing. Who knows, I ain't no pro, just trying it out. 12 years in and I'm still just learning how to weld stainless, so I ain't like some of you pros, but I'm getting there slowly. So yeah, I'll crack on. I'll speak to you soon. Bit more of that red nose. Right guys, I don't know where I'm up to with these videos now. It's Monday morning. I've had all weekend off. I'm about to grind these megaphones into shape. I'm still waiting for, what am I waiting for? Waiting for the postman to come through that door over there. What's he bringing me though? Labna sensors. I've got 2 lots on order on it because the first lot said next day delivery and they didn't come. I'll be putting a complaint in soon, won't I? So then I thought, right, I'll order some more. So I've got like 40 quid's worth of Labna sensors. The bungs, just the bungs, the weld on bungs. Got them in the post. Then I've got the 2 flanges off David, who he had them laser cut for me, a little friend off Facebook. He had some flanges cut for me. Got to wait for them to come. That's pretty much it. That'll get me on a bit. I don't actually need them yet. Like I say, I'm just going to clean up these megaphones and they're done. Then I'm going to cap off the pipes, fill them up with sand. It's one of them days where it's really nice outside again today. Not a day to be stuck inside with a blowtorch, but it is what it is, isn't it? Got to get these jobs done so you can go out and enjoy them. So yeah, that's my plan. Smash out some work again today. I want to keep bike covered up. Bike's covered up at the moment because I'm going to do a bit of grinding. Stop the dust going on it. But yeah, they look alright, these. Look, man. It's one of them where you go away for a weekend and you come back again. And then you just have a bit of a look and you think, oh yeah, didn't do too bad on them actually. So that's really nice weld right bottom of there. can't see it because it won't focus in. I'm going to leave that one on, because I say it's welded up nice, it's beaded round there nicely, purged nice, it's all flat on inside. These ones at the top as well, they're really nice. You could, when it comes back and it focuses in, I've just got a nice constant bead all the way around there. You could almost leave that on. There's a little, I want to grind it out to a point like I normally would. There's a little bit on the back of this one there where it's snotty, where the gas weren't coming through. That's when I first noticed that just that little section there with my thumb is. That bit is not purged on the back, so I'll have to just be careful of that when I'm grinding it in. But everything else got a nice bead on the back and on the front again. So yeah, they're going to look nice. I'm just going to grind that off, tap it back into a point, buff them up on polisher. So I've just put some grit on polisher, ready to buff them up afterwards. And then yeah, like I say, we'll get the flipping tube out. Let's put them to one side then, because what I'll have to do then is decide how I'm going to put them on, or whether I'm going to spring hook them on. Well yeah, but I don't need to know that until I get to the pipes. Customer sent me a picture of the pegs yesterday, the new peg position, and that's thrown a proper curveball in. I think I'll have to have a good look at that again. It's just the pipe I've done a demo pipe of this one here behind me. That fits on, and I was going to kick it up a bit more at the back, but now he's shown me where he's put his pegs. I have no idea anymore. I need to whip all pegs off this bike and try and suss out what I can use as a reference point. I'm not looking forward to that either. So that is actually my next plan. Clean up them megaphones, get the bike out, whip the pegs off, have a look at them, because I might have to change my plan on when I'm sand bending. So I'll fill them up with sand, but then I'm going to have to have a really good think. Probably all of today, probably. Just make a good plan before I bend them tomorrow, because the last thing you want to do is bend them and then send them to him and he's like, oh, these don't fit pegs. So just got to keep looking at a picture, looking at the bike, look at picture, look at bike, look at picture, look at bike, and just suss it out good and proper. So if I've repeated myself, I'm sorry, but yeah, I'm just going to smash it out again. I'll come back to you at the end of the day, see where we're at. Have a good one. Alright guys, I'm back in the workshop. I'm on a crucial day here. I'm going away for a weekend because it's Easter weekend. You might not get you'll get this a few weeks later, so there's no point in coming trying to rob me or anything like that. I won't be here. The bikes that are in here might not, they probably most likely won't be here. You've just watched that, probably just watched that Northern video. That's been gone for about 3 weeks, so yeah. When I first started this, everyone were like, oh, don't post pictures up because everyone will know what you've got, but like, everyone knows what I've got, but it's not here. It's never here when the pictures are posted up. You'll never ever, if you're cherry picking, if you want to like come down here and think, Matt, I'll have that bike, it won't be here. You might end up with a lot of scrap, and also, yeah, you'll have to bust your way in. So, yeah, don't rob me, bastards. Yeah, I'm on with this bike. I'm going away for a weekend. Today we're going to be the day that it was going to be finished, but we've had a bit of hold ups. Basically the pegs. This bike is totally standard. The bike that the pipes are going on, they're being chopped. Everything's being chopped off, back end's chopped off. And I'd love to show you a picture, but it's a bike show bike. Well, it's not. Yeah, it's a bike show bike. It's not a bike shed bike. It's a bike show bike. It's going to a fancy bike show, like it's going to a Royal Enfield bike show. And I'm not going to unveil that. I'll unveil it once it's finished. Not even once it's finished. I'll do a post on my Facebook or on my Instagram. So if you follow me on Facebook or Instagram, at some point in like the next 6 months or so, once the bike's finished and customers sent me some photographs of it, once he's plugged it, then I'll post up some pictures. But all you're going to get for now is just the pipes on a standard bike, and you might not even get the pipes on a standard bike because they're not going to fit. Literally, the way I've jigged this up now, I can make the pipes and fit them to the bike, but I can't fit the pipes and the megaphones. So I've had to guess the megaphones. I've scaled them up off his drawing. So I got his drawing out, put it on the computer, drew around them. So they're exactly the same shape. They're a right scale as well, I think. I don't know how I worked that out. I just worked out the gap that I had. It was like 400mm or something like that on bike with ruler. And then I got the drawing. I scaled up the length of his megaphone that he'd drawn on his sketch. to 400 mil, and then just drew around the outside of it and worked it all out. So they're right, they're going to be bang on. And they actually, I've weighed them up on bike and they look right, so they're going to be right, the megaphones. The pipes are going to be right, but I can't join them together. Basically, because the rear hangers are in way, and what else is in way? Shockers in way. So yeah, we're just going to have to do pipes, weld them on, weld brackets on, then send the megaphones with the pipes, and he'll have to finish it off. There's no I can do it. I'd love to have it finished off, unless I might see if he might have a bit of time to bring the actual bike up. That'd be the best way to finish it off, would be to send this bike back, send the actual bike up, but it's a lot of faff and its bike's going up and down country, so I can't see that one happening either. I've had a look at what he's been doing. He's been doing a bit of TIG welding on it, because he's cut the back end off, he's TIG welded it up, so he shouldn't have a problem. The bits I'll leave will just be simple TIG welds. Won't be like nothing like bending pipes, or like, they're a tricky bit. My megaphones are a little bit, they're not machine made, they're not factory made. They've got a little bit of roughness to them because they're handmade. But one thing that separates them from the rest is that crisp edge. That crisp edge that I put on all my classic megaphones, I've done the same on that, and they look sweet. You don't get that on a machine made megaphone. You normally get a big weld there. So what I'll do is flip the screen round, we'll have a look at it, I'll show you how far on I am. This is where I'm at, and my next plan is to sandbend them. So I've got enough battery charge on camera, to be honest with you, so I'll probably prop camera up and just show you a little bit of stainless bending, because it's not something I normally do. I've got that bit, the front bit's right, I'm probably going to tighten it up a little bit there, then bring it down, but that's exactly the same as his sketch, one big loop from there to there, and then I've bent it there, and then I've done a little bit of an add-on here, because the way that I had it angled, it was just skimming under the bottom at peg, and the megaphone would have ended in the middle of the wheel, where he's got his megaphone up to the top at tyre. So I've just welded another piece of tube on, but at another angle there on end. What I'm going to do is I'll just carry that bend all the way through. I'll just put one big sweep on bottom, if you get me. So that them two, there's a bend there and a bend there. They're just for reference, just so I can get the pipe at the right angle at the end. So I'll still finish it straight, but yeah, that's just so I know to sweep it all the same, all the way along the bottom there. Just one big sweep, and then finish it off at that angle. And that there's touching on the back of the rear silencer mounts. So that's why I can't put, if you have a look here, that's why I can't put the silencer on, because it's butted up there on that ring. But the good thing about that is I'm going to use that for reference on both sides, so I know they're in the same place. He's cutting that shock off, he's put a new swing arm on, wheels moved back a bit, about 7.5 inches or something. He's given me a little reference point off this swing arm bolt here. His peg's going to be about there somewhere, 7.5 inches back from that. So he'll have enough room to, to get his lever in, his peg in, fit the megaphone in. Let's say the wheel will be, he's moved it back 7.5 inches, got a longer swing arm in it, so that shocker won't be there. So then he should be able to put the megaphones on, because there's enough clearance there to shocker, I think. It's all a bit guesstimating. That's the problem with not having the actual bike, is this job's been a lot harder than it should have been, because I don't actually have the actual bike in. So yeah, like I say, I've packed the tubes for them. They're over there. You can't see them, leaning up over here. Them two long bits here, they're ready to bend. So I'm going to get that, I'm going to wheel bike out, put bike back over there, and it's in my normal working spot. Get that bend, copy the top bit to 90 twice, copy that on both pipes. Then I'll copy this one, make sure that that's right from there to all. I'll just bend that on, and then the other pipe will have the 90 on. I'll just have to work out the kick. The kick should be opposite on the other side, so that's might be what I'll do, because I've got my swivel vise. I'll just mark down the angle of what I bend this right hand pipe at, bend it so I know that what the kick is on the top there, and then set the vise at the opposite angle to bend the other side. That's the bonuses of on a swivel vise, is that you can swivel the kick in. So yeah, that should work. Right, so let's have another look. Wish me luck. Don't know, I've just got like today to do these two pipes, get them on. I've got these, it's the last day of the week as well, my Labna sensor bungs. You can't really see them, they're not going to focus in because my head's in way. But yeah, little Labner sensor bungs. They're smaller than normal. They're of normally 18 mils, I think, and these are 12 mils. Little tiny dinky things. They're going to be a bit of a bitch to weld in them. Might have another go at brazing them in. Don't know. I didn't eat. Like I say, I've had successes with that with mild steel, but they're not stainless steel. It were a bit. I think if I did another 10 goes at it, I'd be able to nail that. But either way, just TIG welding them in's gonna be nasty. They're not even that thick. They're dead thin. So I bought these ones with bungs in. So they've got the bungs in the top because I thought, oh, well, that'll stop it from going all out of shape. Because they're that thin. I feel like they might go out of shape. I've also got the problem of trying to drill whatever that's going to be, like a 14mm hole in stainless. Might be drilling a hole, file it out, I think, rotor bear it out, something like that. But yeah, I'll get big camera. I'll get big camera. Maybe we aren't big camera. I'll get stand out. We'll set it up. Get big torch out. Big torch. That's what I meant. Then yeah, we'll have a go. You'll be with me along for the ride because, like I say, I barely sand bend stainless, so it's been maybe 6 go ever in the last 12 years of sand bending. It's been my 6 go ever of sand bending stainless. So it's going to be touch and go, touch and go. I've got an extra piece of tube, so if anything goes wrong, I'll know off first bend. If it goes wrong on first bend, the trick is with sand bending is suss out what you did wrong, then change it for the next one. And you normally can. You think, oh, I did that a bit too quick, or I did that a bit too hot, or I didn't do it hot enough, or there's a million things. There's a million things. And it's a bit like welding. You just think, you lay a weld down, don't you? You think, nah, I didn't quite get that right. Next weld, I'll change it a little tiny bit, go a bit quicker, a bit slower, a bit hotter, a bit colder. Next one looks a little bit better. You get down to the bottom of the sheet and you've laid down a decent weld, haven't you? But I've not got 10 goes. I've got 2 goes, 1 reserve go. I've already done 1 go, so these will be 2nd and 3rd pipe. I've got a 4th pipe reserve. Yeah, fingers crossed it'll all go well. So yeah, I'll speak to you again soon. Let's get out of here. Right, guys, and get a big torch out. Let's see if we've got let's get some fire. I probably start that again. Yeah. I don't trim none of these videos though, so you might have that bit on the start there. Start again. Right, guys, let's get some fire out. That was my main aim, weren't it, when I set this YouTube channel, was that I can't even see myself, so I don't even know if you can see me, to be honest with you. Yeah, main aim. Let me just get that, flip that around. Yeah, we're in. Yeah, main aim of this YouTube channel was just to keep it a bit like an old school skate video, where it's just raw, rough, sketchy, shaky, non-edited, just keep it as it is. Some guy yesterday said I've got the worst accent in the world ever. It's thick, it's thick as. But that's part of the charm, isn't it? Part of the charm of being in this old Lancastrian. It's a court chase from the cotton times, so yeah, I think my accent's still stuck in them cotton times. Probably not changed. My family's not left here in 1,000 years maybe. So yeah, the accent is what it is. So yeah, we're just going to get this cooking, see how it bends. I have no idea how it's going to bend, so got my little wire pattern. I've had a little bit of advice off some people about doing it. One guy said I'll do it easy peasy, so we'll see. just going to tighten the vice up a little tiny bit, because it keeps wanting to drop down on me. Oh, there we go. Every time I was trying to, you can't even see the seat bed now, can you? I've gone well out of view. It'll pick you up. You can see it there, can't you? So we're at 90. Every time I was going round with it, it was slackening up in vice, or having to keep it up my hip like that to try and keep it level. We're not that far off being in the right place. I just want to get it a bit tighter, I think. And then I'll offer it up with other pipe, but it's bending all right. It's bending all right. My last sample pipe were thin walled. It were 1.2, and then this is 1.5. I'll go into a bit of details again. I'll just put a bit more heat into it, and then we'll have a look. Right, now we're cooking like we're cooking. I need to do the same now with other pipe. Let me have a little duck and dive, get my sample pipe out just to double check it on that. And then I'll take my torch off the Right, let's take the torch off. Let's take the torch off while I look at it. Take the torch off, take the camera off. Obviously my presenting skills are not the best, are they? So yeah, that bent alright. It's in 1.5 now. Let's focus in a bit. Yeah, it's in 1.5. The last one were in 1.2. Last one rippled all the way around, but that's because it's thin walled. I wouldn't even try 1.2 in mild steel, to be honest with you. 1.5, which you get in stainless, or 1.6 you get in mild steel. That's bob on. It's bob on. Right wall thickness to be able to bend it, stretch it, shape it. I had to go in 1.2. I weren't right sure whether I could do it in 1.5, but I thought, well, it'll come out better than 1.2 will, because that's just off my experience with bending mild steel. Then I might as well plug in. I spoke to Ryan Edwards. He works at Bicester. There's a few people I know that can sand bend. Ryan Edwards, he does fancy cars. I might have mentioned him before. He does fancy cars down at Bicester. They have a big aerodrome, big old army air base, full of vintage cars, race cars, like proper stuff. Your best ones being like big Bentley blowers and stuff. I absolutely love a big Bentley blower. One of them £1 million cars or something. I don't even know how much they are. But yeah, he's working on £1 million cars. I'm working on 20 grand bikes at best, like a lot of average amount at 10 grand probably, and then you can get some up to about 100 grand. Some will go higher than that, but they obviously get rarer and rarer and rarer as you go up. Apparently some are worth 500 grand, but still to be seen, aren't they? Still to be seen. So yeah, I might have had a 200 grand bike in here once. But yeah, rare as. You're not coming across them every day. So they're like the 20 grand when they're finished. They're not 20 grand when they're sat in here, trust me. They just come in like rusty wrecks. I think I had one where some guy said he paid a couple of grand for a frame, and I was like, I reckon you got robbed on that. And he was like, no, they were only 30 ever made. So it's stuff like that. But yeah, so he's an expert in doing vintage car stuff, and because it's car stuff, it's big stuff, and it's like 2 inch and up, 3 inch. You're on about bending some 5 inch when I spoke to him. And yeah, he's fair shit hot. He's on ball. He's got a big fancy bender, so he don't need to sand bend. But when you're copying vintage pipes, you can't do them on a big fancy mandrel bender. Mandrel benders won't do them at all. So I asked him, I said, Ryan, what do you think about this job I've got here? He said, you'll piss it, lad. So I took Ryan's advice. Went, cheers, Bob. Because I get a bit of that imposter syndrome. He's working on flipping mega cars, mega cars, and I'm just sat here following in the footsteps of my granddad and my dad. It's almost like I got gifted it, but I suppose I've had to work hard to get here. It's been 12 years, so it didn't come easy. It proper didn't come easy. This place were empty. I didn't have a clue. I knew how to laser cut. I could draw. I've never welded. I welded once in my life. I remember being sitting on the floor down here. Show you where. Down there on the floor, near them boards, back there somewhere. My dad died when I was 11. Oh, pardon me, too much coffee. My dad died when I was 11, so it was pre-11. I bet it was somewhere between about 6 and 8, say. And I remember being down here, my dad, to keep us occupied, just throws bits of metal and say, mess about that, whack that with an hammer. Instead of messing about with my good tools, here, have an hammer and some steel and whack that. And then I remember once he give me a bit of angle iron, maybe it's stick welder, something like hot MIG welder or something, so just have a go with that. So I have done bits, and I've actually got a couple of pieces at all. There's a toy car that me and my dad made, and a Mickey Mouse that me and my dad made. The Mickey Mouse basically come from over there, where I got some fly presses. My dad used to stamp out circles on them, and I went rooting through bins one day when I was bored. And found loads of circles, different sizes, all like things. So I made a circle like that for body, circle like that for head, 2 little tiny circles for ears, and then I had it set out on bench. It's all moved around since, so it's a bit hard to say where I were. But yeah, I set it all out on bench. Got some, Dad gave me some little bits of tube, so we cut them up, made them into legs, put some more little discs on feet, bent some bits of tube in vice for arms. And basically, my dad said, I'll weld that up for you. Next time I'm in workshop, I'll weld that up for you. So he welded it up for me. Give it me. I've still got it now. The guy that my dad used to race for, he owned a big chrome plating plant, and after Dad died, my dad's mechanic said, you know that Mickey Mouse you've got? Do you want me to chrome plate it for you for now? So yeah, give it him. It's sat on my front room cabinet. Nice little Mickey Mouse that I made when I was a little boy. All chrome plated up nice. And then same with me. My car, it's got Playmobil wheels on it. I pulled them off a tractor or something, I think. And we decided we were going to make a Jeep Wrangler. I drew it. My dad said, you want to make a car? We'll make a proper car. So I drew it up, sketched it out. Dad come down here, cut it out of a piece of metal. Then we had to go like forming it. Maybe had to go welding it. One of them where if I showed someone to weld, I'd get them to do one weld on it, say, right, you're going to wreck it if you carry on. So yeah, he welded the rest of it up for me, and that's about my experience of welding. I did it all before pre-age 11. But obviously them skills stuck with me, and then now here I am, flipping just boshing it out, I think. So if you want to have a look, let's have a look. Let's stop chatting shit, Ben. Because your videos get too long, Ben. So yeah, that's what I've got. That's a nice smooth bend, that in stainless. No problems with that, absolutely no problems. So let's get the other one out, the scruffy one. If you have a look at that, you can see ripples in that, can't you? Especially up near the top. See all little bumps in it. Oh yeah, it's just because that's really light. It's that lightweight, I can just waz it around with one hand, but that's what we're looking like. So I've got same bend near enough. It's a little bit tighter, which is what I wanted. Arms in way. Next plan now, just bend another one of them. This is the left hand pipe. I'm going to bend that bend again in the next piece of tube for that with a right hand pipe. I think this one is. I'm going to make a left hand pipe. So to start off, we just replicate that bend again. So I've got two bends coming out of the head exactly the same. Then copy all the bottom. The bottom will be the same on each pipe. and both pipes will have that same bend, and it's all in one plane. Designed that, made it all in one plane, because it'll make it easier when I'm bending it. You see, from there all the way down to there, it's all in one straight line. Then it kicks off that way at top. My other pipe will be kicked off that way, so I'll just set that on this angle here. I'll suss out how much kick it needs, spin vice round how much kick it needs, and then swoop the next bend on all the way around. Write down what angle I used on this back. It's a bit hard to read, but write down what angle I used on there. Write it down on here. They're my inches for first bend, so I've made a mark on here, a mark on there. I'll mark them on next pipe before I bend it, so I know where I'm bending it, and then write down the angle on there, and bend the other one the opposite way around. So I'll bend this one that way, with the vice clicked that way. Right guys, back in the shop. Been away since Thursday. It's Monday now, and I've just come in. I just did a video and it cut itself out, faulty card or something, so I just had to do a bit of formatting. But I was saying, it's one of them, once you start a video and then you flipping come back to a video, it's hard to restart that flipping whatever I was saying a minute ago, because I've just said it and now I'm going to have to say it again and I can't remember what I said. It started really well as well, which is a shame. I was saying that I come back into the workshop, been away for 4 days, and it's glorious. Glorious to be back in the workshop. I've got a load of work to do, so that's not glorious, but just the smell of the place. You come in and it smells like, you forget what it smells like. If you're in here all the time, you forget what it smells like, and then you go away for a bit, come back in, brings back a load of memories. It's like it's still got the same smell as it had 30 years ago. 30 years ago when I was a little lad, and I'm 37 now. Yeah, when I was a little lad, I used to come in here with my dad, and it just smells exactly the same. So, how good's that? Like, yeah, my dad's been dead for 26 years or something now, and this place still smells exactly the same. And that's the reason I'm still doing work here. Is like I didn't want to get rid of it because it holds memories, but it just holds a smell. And that smell, you know what it's like, you just smell anything and it just brings back a lot of memories. This workshop smells exactly the same, it's mint. If you go upstairs, it's all wood and bits of old bike bits and stuff. That smells a lot like Grandad's shop, whereas downstairs smells just like Dad's workshop. Amazing, yeah. Like I were going to say, like my brother, he lives in French Alps and he comes back like once a year. And he says exactly the same. When you walk in here, just like, whoa, smells so nice in here. So yeah, it's nice to be back in. I'm going to get this bike out now, this Enfield. I need to get back up to speed with where I was. I bent the pipes before I left. And the last video I did was me bending the pipes. But then I were halfway through bending it and it said shutters flipping closed. Automatically stopped itself, so I went and had a look at it, and basically card were flipping full again. It's annoying. Basically what I've been doing is I filmed that Greaves first, that Grumph, and then I got a bit short of time and I thought, fucking I better sort this Enfield out. So I've got half the card with full of flipping Enfield videos and half the cards full of Grumph videos. I need to carry on the flipping Enfield videos, so what I've done, I've gone home, stuck them all on my laptop. I'm looking a bit red on after I've been away. That's a bit of Abersock sun for you, that. Caught the sun, and now it's pissing it down. So yeah, I missed out. You're not seeing none of that. I bent both of them. You'll just have to imagine it. Go and have a look at some of the old videos if you want to see me bending some. The video I've just posted up yesterday, that were a Grumph. The part 1 of the Grumph. That shows a bit of sand bending in. Go back, watch that one, it'll show you how I did these. But yeah, basically, they bent alright. I were bobbing it a bit, thinking that I don't know what I'm doing with this stainless stuff. But it actually bent better than I thought. I'll probably do some more of it because I actually liked it. It were hard, but I liked it. And they've come out really well. But just, really hard. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to whip the covers off the bikes. The bikes have all been in bed. They're all sheeted up. I'll show you them. That's all bikes underneath there. So I'm going to whip all them off there, get all bikes out, and then we'll go around here. I'll get Enfield, drag it out to here, put it in its spot. And then there, the pipes, all bent up. So I need to double check, triple check, do all the checkings on them. make sure that they're going to go on before I empty sand out of them. If I want to tweak them, I can still tweak them. Did a couple of tweaks before I left on Thursday. I'm going to check them to this. This is my little sample pipe that's just made out of bits of scrap and stuff. Yeah, I'm going to check that against that. Might do a little bit of wire pattern checking, just mainly just make sure the depth's all right on this. That'll be the right hand pipe. It's tight under casings. Left hand pipe, there's loads of room. But yeah, the right hand pipe just needs to make sure that skims under casing. I also need to make sure that they're near enough mirror images of each of the left and right, which means just standing them up on the floor and just checking them backwards and forwards. So yeah, I'll whip all this out here, and pull all covers off that, get them back out of bed, wake them all up, and then we'll check pipes. Hopefully by the end of today, we'll whip the sand out of them. We'll have got them on. Maybe start tacking them on. Definitely got to start tacking them on. Basically, the lad that's buying them, he's got a mate that's a courier, and apparently he's driving past on Wednesday. It's Monday now. He said, "Will they be ready to pick up on Wednesday?" Well, I have no idea at all. I'm away in Wales. Totally forgot about our work. So, yeah, I need to get cracking on them. Make sure by the end of today, I need to tell him whether he's picking them up or not picking them up. So I need to get them to a spot where I know that I'm confident that I can finish it all off tomorrow, which will be like welding on them lambda bungs. Maybe put a bracket on, but I've said to him, because his frame's different from this frame, this standard frame, it might be better if he welds the brackets on, because then he can just swing them in and out a little tiny bit. If I put the brackets on, they'll be dead accurate, and then they might not fit his frame, or he might not be able to adjust them enough for him to fit his frame. So yeah, I'll just do that. I'll crack on. I'll get camera back out in an hour or two. I'll speak to you soon. Right guys, I just thought I'd show you what I do here to check them. Pipes are here, you probably can't see me head. I've got this is my old sample pipe. So I've just bent this up just to check it with customer to make sure he were happy with everything. And then I've used that to copy it. So if you see there roughly, that's roughly the same shape. So you can check a few things, just using the floor as a level. Check that the kick's right, that they follow the same line, that the depth's right from here to here. Then another good way of checking is to get them like that. And then that just gives you a good idea of where the top and the bottom is. So that'll sit like that. You make sure that the kick's right on the back there. Make sure everything's lining up nice. That looks alright, that looks like that'd work. I obviously then, I used this same sample to bend the other one, but what I did, I chopped that there and turned the top of it. So now it won't check the other one, but I can use it and do a back-to-back test. So to do a back-to-back, you do that with them. And just check that they're following the same line, and that the angle and the spread at the back's the same. Don't know if you can see that, it's going to be a bit of a jaunty video this, a bit of like not going to be the best video, but yeah, that's from a side on line. And then just make sure that the kick's right, the bends are in the right place, the heights are right, etc. I get a bit of leeway because I can do that with it to get it into the same place. Then another good check is to get both pipes now. Just put them like that. And just check that they finish in the same place here. They're coming up at the same angle. That bend there is the same. The two back bends are in the same place. And that fan out at the back's the same. Which it roughly looks right. Like I say, I've got a bit of leeway as then I can do that with it, but you want them to be as accurate as possible. I do that, and then I normally check them the opposite way around, so then I'll check them. Hard to do this without dropping them, they're really heavy. I'll check them that way around as well, just to check them back bends. Make sure that they're kicking up at the same angle. I get them back bends lined up, the fronts look the same. And they're leaning in and out about the same. So yeah, they could actually work, they're looking alright. You can just check one last thing, check them like spread out wideways, which checks them two top bends. So I can check them like
like that as well. Obviously when you're doing it, I'll hold it the other way around, I'll be that way on to you and having a look at it this way just to check that they're looking right. But these two bends are in the same place. They sit well like that. They're rocking well. They probably fan out at the right angles as well. So I think they're probably gonna fit. I'm probably nearly at the point where I'm gonna empty some sand out of it. I'm just gonna do another check, triple check them, and then I'll be ready to empty sand out. And the rest of it, I'll be winging on being able to alter it up here on the neck. I'll be able to bend it back, like move it backwards and forwards, or move it up and down before I weld it on. So that's just how I check them. That takes a long time just checking them because they're heavy and they're hard to move around. So yeah, I'm going to get myself, I'll check them now and then we'll have another go.